Have you ever wondered how much wine you could import back into Canada? You visited Tuscany, you wanted to bring back some wine, but you weren't sure what the legalities are, what the rules are, or maybe you want to get into importing wine for on a profitable basis. Is there much money to be made? How do you get into it? Well, my next guest who joins me has all of those answers, and he's going to be with us on the Sunday Sipper Club on Sunday, January 14th at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm Natalie McLean, editor of Canada's largest wine review site at nataliemclean.com, and we gather together the most intriguing people in the wine world every Sunday, as I mentioned, on the Sunday Sipper Club. Now, our guest teaches a course called Importing Wine for Pleasure or Profit, and he joins me now live from his home office in Toronto. Welcome to the Sunday Sipper Club, Charles Stephen Trenholm.
Hi,
Hi.
Natalie. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Thank you so much for joining me for this little short whet your appetite chat. So a lot of people have thought about this, importing wine from various aspects. Is there much money to be made in doing this? Can someone get into it as a side job or eventually maybe full time and make money importing wine?
Well, let me just start off by saying the actual title of the seminar is Importing Wine for Pleasure and Profit.
Oh,
Not for
okay.
profit. It's not like it's mutually exclusive. You can either make lots of money or have a lot of pleasure, but you can't have both. You can, in fact, have both of them.
Excellent. Thanks for
Um,
the clarification.
in terms of making money, I think certainly there's people who've taken my seminar over the years that have gone on to establish quite successful agencies, and they're making a lot of money. As they should, because they work hard and they represent big brands and they've made an investment in their company over the years. It's certainly not a get-rich scheme by any stretch of the imagination. It takes a considerable amount of time to develop a business, to find that have good products to sell, and then, of course, to introduce those products into the market through the various channels that are open to people through the various liquor control boards.
Sure, absolutely. And then just a quick personal question, like if someone's going away this holiday to Tuscany, lucky them, and they wanted to bring back a case of wine, is that difficult?
Well, I mean, the first thing you have is, of course, your duty-free allowance, which is generally a liter of wine, but most Canadian Border Service you bring in 2 bottles, so that's a liter and a half. But apart from that, and the little known fact is you, as an individual over the age of 19, can bring in 5 cases of wine. That's 45 liters, or
Wow.
5 cases containing 12 bottles of 750 milliliter size bottles. Now, of
Wow.
course, it's not always practical, if you're traveling by an airline to check-in gate with 5 cases of wine. The excess baggage charges will probably be more than the wine's worth. But, you can
Right.
certainly stuff your suitcase, as I have many times, half a dozen good bottles of wine that you've wrapped in, your traveling clothes
Sure, sure.
and sport socks. But because the last thing you want, of course, is them to break in transit and
Right, right.
ruin your clothes and everybody else's around you.
Very good point. And so, Stephen, we're going to dive into that topic more deeply on Sunday, January 14th, and we'll get more tips from you and talk more about the course that you offer, which is Importing Wine for Pleasure and Profit. We can have it all. Yay. So I look forward to our longer chat then. So I'll say goodbye for now, and we'll talk again soon.
Goodbye and have a happy holiday as
You
well.
too. Absolutely. You too, Charles.